everybody, and welcome to our page, Open Dialogue. I'm Kristen.
Ryan.
And so before we get started, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos.
Where is it at?
It's at the bottom, under there. So we just want to, welcome back to our channel. If you're back again, welcome if you're here for the first time. So we're just going to get right into today's part 1 video. So since we're new to YouTube, one of the things we wanted to do was for you guys to get to know us. And so we have to tell our dating story and how we got almost to this point. So we wanted to share some of our highs, some of our lows, and the lessons that we learned from the highs and the lows. So we are going to tell it all.
Yeah. Promise, yeah.
We gonna tell it. So we met back in.
I feel like I got a lot of all on my part though.
You do got a lot of all, y'all. He got a lot of all. So we met back in January 2009. This was right before Obama's inauguration. I had just moved back from Atlanta, Georgia. I went to college down there. And
what college was that again?
Clark Atlanta University.
Never heard of it. Go ahead.
Anyway. Clark Atlanta University, HBCU proud. Thank you very much. So
wait a minute. Is that Fire Up Chips? I can't even say it right.
Exactly.
Central Michigan University. Y'all know what it is.
Anyway, so I just moved back from Atlanta, Georgia, and I was in need of a job. So his parents owned a church. And his dad was looking for a grant writer. And my mom and his dad are friends and coworkers. So she recommended me for the job of grant writer. His dad came to interview me, gave me the job. So he said, you're going to meet my son and you guys will be working together. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm thinking it's going to be some older guy. Because at this time I was like 23, 24. So older than me at that time was like 35. I don't know why I thought that. Our parents are in the same age group, but whatever. So I walk in and there's this guy, him, and he's sitting there in this black bubble coat with the fur hood and the orange lining.
Fire.
It wasn't.
What?
I'm going to tell you why it wasn't. I was thinking about this before we started recording. So where I went to school, it was right across the street from Morehouse College. So for those of you who don't know, Morehouse College is a all-male, mostly black university.
They share the same building.
Mostly black university in Atlanta, Georgia. And so, like, they have this saying, you can always tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him much. And that's how they dress. They have this air about themselves. So Morehouse dudes wasn't wearing no bubble coats.
What was my air?
You was wearing a black jacket with some orange lining in the fur.
First of all, I don't give a damn about no Morehouse, man. This was the official Detroit coat. Every dude in Detroit know what it is. The orange lining with the fur around the hood. Man, we do it, man. Morehouse.
Anyway,
Get out of here.
So meet this guy.
Shout out to all my friends that went to Morehouse. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
good.
all right.
I don't know nobody with the Morehouse.
Oh my God. So anyway, we meet, we talk, and we hit it off strictly as friends, right? So we're really good friends. We're hanging out every day. We're watching Tyra Banks show when we're supposed to be working.
Judge Mathis,
Judy, all of them judges. We was watching those judges.
Judge Judy cold.
She is.
Like, she be straight to the point, boy. I wouldn't survive in her courtroom.
Or Mathis.
Mathis, I think like me and Mathis would be cool. Like, I think he'll let me off with a warning.
No. So we're hanging out. And when I say we were strictly friends, I really mean, y'all, we were like, he's the homie, I'm the homie. So one day he comes in from the weekend. It's a Monday after morning. Like, we didn't get to work till like 11.
A Monday after morning?
It was a Monday after morning. We got to work
that's
at like 11.
Afternoon.
It was like 11 o'clock in the morning.
So that's called morning.
Okay, anyway. So he comes in around the corner. He's like, hey, Chris. Ask me what I did this weekend. All right, Rob, what'd you do this weekend?
I had a threesome.
Y'all,
My first one.
Y'all,
My
he
only
was
one.
so happy.
Yeah.
He was like the little. He was just so cute, y'all. He was so. Sorry, go ahead.
I came in there with real manly, like you know. What you laughing for?
Nothing. Go ahead and tell your story. This
Anyway, it was something that was on my list to do, and I got it done, and it was awesome. That's all. We're gonna leave it at that. Cute. What you talking about?
I'm so happy for you, babe.
And then well, okay.
Anyway, so that's how close we were. We were like really strictly friends. So at this time, I was going to community college to take classes, and I just needed a place to study. So I would always go to his house because he lived by himself, and I just needed a place to kick it and study, which was great. And we hung out more and more. And so we went. No,
I need you to sound different about that. Like, we hung out more.
We hung
Not
out more.
And more. Like,
we hung out more.
Okay. All right, I see.
And so one day we went bowling at Clover Lanes. Clover Lanes is gone, but the sign is still there. If you're from Metro Detroit, you already know. And so we go bowling, and you're an excellent bowler.
You know what? You just trying to get on my good side, but it's true.
He's a really good bowler.
It's true. I know some better ones. And someone's gonna see this video, y'all gonna comment. I know y'all, but I do my thing.
Yeah, so he's a good bowler. So he's out here bowling strikes, and I finally get a strike, y'all. I was so happy. So I run over to him. He's sitting down. So I run over to him, and I sit in his lap. I was like, oh, well,
now, I'm a good Christian boy, and where I come from, that's just a little forward.
You a good what?
What? First of all, don't try to play me. I was a little forward. That's all I'm saying. I was shocked.
Anyway, so I'm like, well, at this point, I guess it's kind of obvious that I like him. I really hadn't even admitted to myself that I liked him. It was just one of those things that just happened, right? So we're hanging out more, and then the day I came over, you had flipped over the furniture.
Hey, okay, so again, she was coming over a lot, and I noticed that when she come over, she would never ever sit next to me, like nowhere close. Nope. So it was like I had the cooties. You know how that was when you was little. Somebody had the cooties. I guess I had them. So anyway, to fix that problem, I decided I'm gonna flip all the furniture except for one love seat. And when she came over, she was like looking like confused, and I was like, "Well, I guess you gotta sit next to me."
And I sat next to him.
She did.
He was so, you do like some really cute stuff.
I sometimes, you know, I do.
You did really cute stuff. So we clearly liked each other, and we continued to hang out. And then it got to a point where it was time to tell the other people that we were talking to / dating that we needed to make a break. So I guess this would be a good time for our first relationship tip that we've learned in the last decade and some change. Definitely break it off. I'm not saying don't date. You can date multiple people. That's totally fine. But if you want to be in a serious relationship, one-on-one, then you need to like break it off.
Cling. Like, I think that's the thing. Like, I mean, I think that's a given that we know that you got to break it. If you want to be in a serious committed relationship, then you need to break it off. But I think the tip is to do it clean. But you know how sometimes people like lead another person on because you really don't want to end it because you don't leave your toe in the other one just in case this one don't work out. Yeah. And
all about your toe.
Anyway, so what we did was I called the person I was seeing, and you know, told them right in front of her. They didn't know, of course, but she was sitting right there and heard everything I said, so there could be no miscommunication. She knew exactly what I said. So, and then how'd you do yours, babe?
So what had happened was I was seeing this guy, and we had not spoken, I want to say, in about 2 months. I really hadn't seen each other in 2 months. So prior to us not talking, because he was working a lot, so the communication just stopped. And my sister was getting married, so I had invited him to be my sister's date, my date to my sister's wedding.
That's a problem. You want her wedding to be her date, boy.
Anyway,
y'all got some stuff going on.
It's gonna be.
That's a whole nother video, y'all. Tune in.
And so I wanted to invite Ryan, but Ryan was like, no, you need to tell the guy and you need to follow through because he's coming and, made arrangements or whatever. So the guy shows up to my sister's wedding. We have a nice time. Everything was cool. At the reception, well, after the reception, no, it was still during the reception because we stepped out into the hallway. It was obvious that, like, between us, it wasn't going anywhere, which was totally fine. And so we parted ways at my sister's wedding reception.
So you broke up with him at the wedding reception?
You just want me to say that?
No, that's the truth. Don't make me the bad guy. I didn't do anything. I was at home, just chilling.
Anyway, so yes, the guy and I broke up at my sister's wedding. That's what happened. Okay. Hate you. So we start off with a clean slate. So this is in August of 2009. So we're dating, everything is amazing. Is this when I fell down the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is about the time I fell down the stairs.
Yeah, this is my first clue, y'all, and I probably... What? I'm just saying, it was... So, I was downstairs in the living room, watching TV, doing something, I don't know. And she was coming down the steps. Now, you want to, because... Tell how the steps are, because according to you...
So in his family's house, there are these steps of death, and I am not the only person in our family.
No, you're not. Everybody has
exactly.
Except for me.
So I am not the only person who has, like, suffered at the hands of these stairs.
What's the funniest, though?
At the top of the stair, there's a slight spiral. Then it goes straight down, wall at the end, and then it breaks off into two separate stairways that lead either to the kitchen or the living room. So the steps moved when I was walking.
They grabbed you.
They did. And my foot went up in the air. I went straight on my back. All the way down the whole flight of stairs. Threw my bowl in the air, everything. It was a hot mess. He jumps up off the couch. And I just bust out laughing. Because I am so embarrassed. Like, we literally had just started dating. And I fall down the entire flight of stairs. All I could do was laugh. It was...
Yeah. And I made sure she was okay first.
And then you laughed.
And then I cracked the hell up. Man, that was the longest fall. You know how somebody takes so long to fall? And then she hit every stair. Every single one. And, like, I've seen... Like I said, you're not the only person that fall down those steps. So I've seen some falls down those steps. I have never fell down those steps before. But yours was the longest, slowest, funniest that I've seen. So anyway.
So he takes me to CVS to get like bandages and Neosporin because I had carpet burns on my arm. And then he took me to Burger King to get me something to eat. And y'all, like, I just told him this like a little while ago. Like, I just threw the Neosporin away. I saved it. Like, I did. I thought it was so sweet. So that was one of our highs. And here come the lows. So we're dating. It's around, when was Niecy born? I think he was born.
You know me and dates.
May.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
May is when our niece was born. So we're dating and we're having like regular couples spats. Like nothing serious, but just like when you with somebody, you argue about stuff. So he hits me with the, I think we need to take a break. Cool. I know what that means. I'm not stupid. So I'm like, all right, well, how long of a break do you need? He's like, oh, like about a week. 1 week. So I don't expect to see or hear from you for a week, right? During that week, our niece was born. I was so mad because I couldn't see my niecey poo. And so I text him, I'm like, congratulations, Uncle Ryan. He's like, oh, congratulations, Auntie Chris. First of all, we have only been together a year.
If I'm an uncle, you auntie. That's how I go.
Second of all, we're not even together right now. Like, we're on a break.
For a week.
We're not okay. Let's be real. Since we go open dialogue, let's have a real conversation. When you take a break, there are chances that you're not going to get back together. And that's where my head was. I was like, oh, he needs to go sow his wild oats or whatever he needs to do. I don't think this is going to, like, we're not getting back together. I don't see it happening.
And my thing is, it's like,
go ahead.
when you take a break, you take a break. It's like you at work, you got a lunch break. They expect you to come back after the break. So I expected us after that week to be back together. So
why did you take a break?
You mean why? Okay.
No, what did you do on the break, and
why? I'll say that's a different question.
Yes. Okay, so what did you do on the break, and why did you take the break?
All right, so I revisited a past fling.
So let's be clear who this fling was. Remember that girl that he called and made that clean break with? Go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, but it was not my intention to do that though. Like I honestly did not set out to say, hey, I'm gonna cause a break in my relationship so I can go and meet up with or smash, my ex, I guess, because we really weren't together.
Sure.
But so that wasn't my intention. But looking back, it probably was, but subconsciously because I didn't set out to do that. So that's what happened on the break.
Yeah, that's what happened during the break. So a few days into the break, I'm taking a nap because I have to work because I'm in class and I'm working. And there's a knock on my door. I'm like, who at my door? Because then nobody called. I wasn't expecting nobody. He at my door like 2-3 days early. Bruh, why you here? What? Like, why? You needed a whole week. You needed a break. Why you here? Why was you at my door?
Because it was time for the break to be over.
But you needed a week.
I overestimated.
So you were done and you were ready to be back in a committed relationship.
I missed you so much.
Okay, you're not listening to my question. You were done and you were ready to be back in a committed relationship.
Yes.
Lies. So we get back together. We're dating. Life is great. So I move out of that apartment and then I moved into another apartment. Wait, we're skipping stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so we forgot like some movie and stuff.
So during the time you were staying where?
Okay, so in the beginning of our relationship, because this will make sense in like 2 minutes. In the beginning of our relationship, I was living with my mother. Again, just moved back from college. My mom and I butted heads. Because like right now we cool. Back then, oil and water. Nope. So she was like, you gotta go. I ended up moving in with, no. I asked my dad, could I come stay with him? He just got remarried and...
No, he wasn't married yet.
He wasn't?
No. He wasn't married yet because the wedding was when I went out of town. Yeah, he wasn't married yet. Not yet.
Yeah. So I don't timeline, whatever.
But regardless.
We'll get to that in another video. So I never got an answer back whether or not I could live with my dad. So at this point, I literally have nowhere to go. And so I call one of my best friends and she's like, I can move in with her and her fam, which was cool. Until one day I get a phone call from my bank saying that my card had been used at Big Lots for like a few $100, like over $300. So I go to class.
A lot of Big Lot.
That's a whole lot of Big Lot. I go to class. I come home. My Dooney and Burke purse is gone. And my credit card is gone. So that wasn't going to be the move anymore. So I ended up moving in with him. And like I said, we lived together before we got married intentionally. But at this point, this was not intentional. This was like, I didn't have anywhere to go.
And I had a big house to myself. So it was beneficial for both of us. But we didn't set out to do it.
Right.
However, I would recommend that. And second tip, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't see how people can have after a certain point, though we did it faster than we would like to, I think it's a necessary step. I know some people try not to move in before they're married. I don't think that's it's good advice because you want to be able to, get used to people's quirks, try to see how that is before marriage because at that point, it's kind of too late. So definitely move in at some point before marriage. And the sooner the better, but not too soon.
Agreed. Cool. So I'm living with him. I move into my apartment, which is where the break happened. So when the break happened, I had my own place. Thank God I had somewhere else to go besides staying with him. Okay, so I leave that apartment, go to my next apartment. So I'm living my best life. We're having a good time. We're dating. Winter comes. I know, right?
Game of Thrones.
GOT.
Winter's coming.
So winter came, and we live in Michigan. So this was like when polar vortex was happening, and I was like, well, why don't you just come stay with me for the winter? Cause your furnace is out.
Wait. So okay. So real quick, this will make sense in 2 minutes, as you say. So when I moved back from college, my family had moved away from my childhood home I grew up in, but we still owned the house. Thus, how I ended up having that whole house to myself. Then, as we were living there, the furnace had went out. Of course, my family no longer lives there. I'm fresh out of college. I don't have the money to fix a whole furnace. So we making what we call a heat pocket. What is a heat pocket? A heat pocket is when you take a portable radiator, and while y'all in the bed, you throw the cover over the radiator, and then you throw the cover over the two of you, and it creates a little heat pocket. And that's how we were living. And so it's cool so long as you stay in the heat pocket. But boy, when you gotta pee or go to the kitchen or anything, you better do it quick, because you're gonna be freezing yo off. So she moved, and I was still staying there without a furnace in the dead of winter. I stuck it out because I'm the type of person you're not gonna run me away from my house. I'm staying, and still to this day I'm that way. However, there comes a time when you know it's time to go. All right, so I get up one night and I go to the bathroom, and it's my house. I grew up in this house, so I don't need to turn the lights on. I use the bathroom. I know everything, yeah. And so I'm sitting there using the bathroom, and I start feeling like I'm missing, because look, I'm hearing sounds that it ain't water that I'm hitting. So I flick on the lights, and the water in the toilet bowl frozen. So at that point in time, I knew I should probably leave.
So he was looking for apartments. Again, I told him, like, you just come stay with me. It's fine. So the apartment he found that he really liked was directly across the street from my apartment. I'm like, yo, that's stupid. Just come stay with me. We'll figure out somewhere for you to go in the spring. It's not a big deal.
That's not necessarily what happened, though. Like, I was looking for an apartment. I was having trouble. Yes, I didn't, even the one that I did like, it didn't work out for whatever reason, I forget. And during the time, I mean, your expenses over there weren't conducive to what you were making at the time. So it was mutually beneficial, once again, for us to move in, because I could take care of the rent, and it would be easier. I need a place to stay. So it wasn't,
It worked out.
Yes.
It worked out. So we're living together. Life is amazing.
Why do you always say that like
because that? You have to be happy.
Yeah. Because then you set it up until I ruin it. That's what you about to say.
Yeah. I mean, until the shit hit the fan.
It's always me hitting the fan.
Always. So, backstory. His family owned a security company. If you are an entrepreneur, you know that part of owning a business means that you gonna have to put in that grind from time to time. Even if all the time. Even if you have employees, things happen, and sometimes you have to pick up the slack. So there were frequent times that he would have to go cover the shift of a guard who couldn't make it for whatever reason. So this was our norm. So he goes to cover a shift. He's on his way home. He calls me. He's like, hey, babe, no, you were out somewhere, and then you got a call to cover a shift. Hey, babe, so-and-so didn't make it to whatever the location was. I need to go cover the shift for a couple hours until we can get the relief in. Cool. No problem. Just thanks for letting me know where you're going. I think I went to sleep on the couch just so I would be aware of when he came home, just to make sure he made it home safe, right? So I'm none the wiser. He comes home. Life is amazing. Maybe a month or so later.
First of all, you sleeping on the couch. She sleep through everything. You can
I
come
do.
in and beat her upside the head. She will wake up the next morning like, why my head hurt? So, I'm just saying. Like, I just thought about that. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so Ryan is the type of person, he will confess. He's good. He doesn't get caught. He confesses. So a couple of months after this day happened, he was like, hey, babe, remember that time that I said I went down to cover a shift? I'm like, yeah. Go ahead. What'd you tell me?
Oh, I thought you was gonna
This
finish.
is shit hitting the fan.
So, once again, y'all, I met up with an ex.
No.
No?
This is not a ex.
This is the ex. So this is high school sweetheart, probably longest term relationship.
Yeah.
So this is not just an ex, like that first break was just someone that I met while I was in college, and we weren't that serious. This was the ex, and so we met at the old house. By that time, I don't know how. I think maybe the furnace got fixed. I don't know. It wasn't cold no more, so I don't know what happened.
It wasn't. Go ahead, Tim.
So we met over there, and long story short, smashed.
What'd you tell me what happened?
I initially said we kissed.
Right. So I am furious at this kiss.
Yeah, I slept with one eye open, y'all.
Yo.
Because she looked like something may happen. And she known for watching episodes of Snapped.
I'm just saying.
Don't let y'all girls watch that.
I'm just saying, I mean, like, you have to have compassion sometimes for people. So.
I'm confused. What does that even mean?
I'm just saying those women who are on Snap, I understand.
They're murderers.
I understand.
That's against the law.
Okay. So anyway, I was furious about the kiss. I was furious because he lied about where he was going. And up until this point, I wasn't the person like checking text messages. Who you talking to? I wasn't doing all of that because I didn't feel like I had to. We'll talk about that in part 2 because it like really comes out in part 2. So I wasn't doing all the checking up behind. Like he had not given me a reason to do all of those things. So yeah, I was pissed because he kissed her. I was pissed because he lied. So now I don't trust you.
But then I told the truth. So does that kind of balance it out?
You told a piece of the truth.
Okay.
So you didn't tell. Okay, so again, at this point, all I know is that they kissed. And this is months later. So I don't remember like how it went down. Like we maybe didn't talk for like a day or two or something. I don't know exactly what happened. Again, this is like 10 years ago. So I don't know that he's had sex with this girl until you decide you want to tell the whole truth. Why did you tell me?
I think this was a little while later.
This was like a lot of while later.
Add that to our list of new words. And I know. I always wanted to make sure that I went into our marriage with everything on the table. And so as it began to look like we were heading that direction, I was like, okay, I got a couple things that I didn't quite tell you everything. And so that was one of them.
Yeah. Again, furious. I didn't hurt him. I didn't hurt you, did I?
No.
See? I was nice. I was furious, though. I'm pretty sure we didn't talk for an ungodly amount of time. Or, like, our relationship.
And we live together, so that's, like, really awkward.
But it's like, dude, I don't even like you. I love you, but I don't like you right now. I don't trust you. I don't like you. And now you making me question our whole relationship. So, I wasn't sure where our relationship was going to go, if it was going to go any further. I didn't know. So I guess that's like where we gonna cap it for.
I mean, you don't want to. Okay, yeah, that's a good stopping point.
Yeah, we gotta cap it there for part 1, because then part 2 is like when we really live together and the text messages and
Don't give it away too soon.
Oh yeah. So let's recap part 1. We've had breaks. We've had cheating. Don't bite me. We've had cheating. We've also had some really good times. So I guess our big takeaways or things we want you to take away from part 1 would be, if you are ready to be in a committed relationship, like break it off for real with the other people. Live together at some point. Like once it's like really serious, not like, oh, I love him after 2 months, and nah, don't do that.
Don't give lap dances so early either. What? I'm just saying, that's probably a good tip.
Anyway,
probably shouldn't do that.
Probably shouldn't do that. And like enjoy the beginning of your relationship. Like enjoy the good moments.
Enjoy all of your relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just the beginning. We still enjoy our relationship now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like definitely enjoy your significant other. Whether it's your girlfriend, best friend, enjoy people. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly, as you begin to, start a relationship, it's very important that you guys like each other. As friends.
That was the big one. Our friendship.
Yeah.
Our friendship, especially after I found out he cheated, our friendship saved our relationship. Mm-hmm. Because I think if it had been one of those situations where, like, oh, you're cute. Oh, you're cute. And it's just like based on physical, we wouldn't have made it through.
And I think because you also understood me more, like, because you were the homie. So I'm the same guy that came to you was like, oh, I had a threesome today. So I think guys. All right, so I don't want to. Real quick. All right, so there's different levels, right? And so sometimes the guys who've been able to have their way with women, like, women came easy to them.
Yeah.
It's hard for a full stop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas you get some men who maybe didn't do so good in the lady department, so they only had a handful or less. For them, a full stop may be a little easier because their lifestyle was never like. So I think for me, a full stop was just something that I, was having a hard time with. And I think that's what, but we'll get more into that. But yeah.
In part 2. So yeah, part 2, the shit don't stop hitting the fan because he just keep hitting the fan. Like,
my fault.
It is your fault. Whose fault is it?
I mean, I just think as a couple, we should mutually just take the blame because we together.
No.
We won.
Not then.
We's married now.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining us for part 1 of our dating story. Part 2 we're gonna take a break and then come back with part 2. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell
We don't know where it is. We don't know.
Oh God.
We're new.
If you're one of our Facebook friends and you see this on Facebook, hit that share button. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.